Let's see. On average, per week, teams have scored 114 and a half points. This past week in particular, the average for the weekend was 105.9. It's
A
actually
little
the
lower.
second lowest we've had all year. The first week was the lowest with average points being scored of 99. Um, it was actually the second closest in terms of the winning team versus losing team in point differential at 22.6 points between the teams, with an average win of 117 to 94.6. And then if I go to Stan's page, Dan has been part of the top dog in 4 out of the 6 weeks, with 3 of them coming against him.
Wow.
Only one time has Stan had 100 points scored, or less than 100 points scored against him, and that was week 2 when Boss only scored 90. Otherwise, the second lowest is 125. And then it's 136, 147, 167, and 188. Stan himself has only scored under 100 points one time, and that was the first week of the season when he had 85. On the season, Stan averages 125 points per game, 141 points in a win, and 109 points in his losses.
Average against me is 142.
Average against 142.6917. And that's just overall. The average against you in wins is when you've won is still 117, which is above the league average. The average against you when you've lost is 168.
Oh.
Tommy last week was probably the lowest of the bunch. What do you have? 140?
147.
Yeah, only B-Lav would have beat me last week.
Kevin scored the most against you the previous week with 188. Otherwise, Tommy's next with 147. I scored 130. I scored 136, but that was in a loss. Same thing with Dave. 2 Kidder Quitter scored 125 and lost. So, like, if you're gonna, whoever's facing Stan is getting big points. It's just a matter of if he's gonna outscore you or not. It's just wild. Yeah, I saw that today. It's one of the first things I do when I go to the page. I look at, like, all right, who's got what, and it's like, oh Jesus, like 856, and the next person down is Tommy with 773. So not too far behind, but still 70. No, what is that? It's like 90 points. No, 70 something points. Like that's still, I mean, that's 15 points per week less that Tommy has against him. It's quite a big difference. And then you've got, your first place in our division, Stan, is Kevin, who's only had 595 against him, so less than 100 per week. Him and Bates are 1 and 2 with least points against.
Yeah, they do. I mean, they are top 3 in offenses, though. So, I mean, it's not like that's why they're up there.
But, yeah.
Yeah, Stan, if you had watched last week's recording that you missed, I said the reason why you weren't there was because of the Commanders losing to the Bears so badly, and then you losing to me so badly.
Oh, I didn't even think about me missing.
I was like, no, Stan. I was like, yeah. I was like, he was embarrassed. The Bears beat his team, and I beat his team. He was like, I'm out. I'm not coming in this week. I need to take a week off.
I didn't even think about it. No, I had tickets to Nitro Circus last week.
Nice.
Cooper and Noel. It was pretty cool.
Charlie.
What's that guy's name, Chris? I asked you about
The Nitro Circus.
Yeah,
Travis Pastrana is the one who started it.
Yeah, Pastrana. He's the one who was there.
Yeah. Pastrami.
Yes,
Pastrami.
Yeah, I always thought that's what I was keeping in mind whenever I hear that name. I'm like, Pastrami?
Last week was when I looked at it for the league pick'em, And because I knew I had Joe picked, like when I saw that he had Pollard and Keenan Allen going Monday night, I'm like, God, please get him the points. I was like,
Let me get things started
I
here.
wanted to get the
Oh.
I wanted to get the points just because it'd have been the second fucking time I think either I don't know if it was last year or the year before that I was the reason that somebody's losing effort came to an end. And I'm like, I don't want it to happen again, god damn it.
and it did.
And I'm looking at my bench and I see Drake London. I'm like, why did I pick him up if I wasn't gonna play him? Like, son of a bitch. Devonta Smith has been such a disappointment all fucking year. Just take his ass out and fucking put this guy in. It's fine. Like, oh.
Indeed.
And then of course Scott actually has a decent fucking week. I'm like, you prick.
Right.
Well, it's like the big news is Julio Jones signing with the Eagles, and I'm like, what the fuck does he need Julio Jones for?
Ooh.
So
Quez
AJ Brown can be
Watkins went on the IR, but he's not a Quez Watkins type player. I guess they just had a wide receiver opening, so they figured.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, maybe the dude just wants a ring or something. That's what I look at it as. He's like,
Yeah, ring.
Yeah.
you know what?
Paycheck. I mean,
I don't give a shit.
Please ring.
he can bring
Where's my ring?
experience to the locker room, just breaking down film with the guys.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't hurt the Eagles and it doesn't hurt him. So it's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
When your career, who gives a fuck?
Yeah, I mean, a body on the field to, along with Smith and Brown to be able to say, all right, who are you going to block?
Yeah.
Or I shouldn't say block, but who are you going to cover?
Yeah,
So-
I mean, as the Eagles, it's like, you're like, fuck yeah.
I'm sorry the Chiefs didn't pick him up.
Yeah.
They're pretty.
Yeah, the Chiefs. You need a wide receiver with some pedigree.
Evidently, they don't.
Yeah, there was big talk that in the beginning of the year that if the Bucks sucked, that the Chiefs were going to try to go after Mike Evans. Then obviously the Bucks are actually doing really well with Baker Mayfield, which is, I mean, not to say it's
At
not
home
shocking,
with
I mean,
Baker.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a lot of people who are like right now. They're like with whatever's going on with Deshaun Watson because they don't know, nobody knows. But it's like if you just kept Baker, like you'd probably be leading the division right now with the way their defense is playing.
Yeah.
Like I thought they did have a good defense, but damn, this last weekend, like they probably stuck it to one of the best teams in the league in San Francisco. So
Yeah.
Well, Christian McCaffrey getting injured doesn't help, and Deebo Samuel being out also doesn't help.
and then your kicker missing the game-winning field goal doesn't help either. So because San Francisco had that game, they should.
No, they absolutely did.
They also lost two of their lead offensive linemen. That also doesn't help as well.
Yeah.
Do you know how long they're out?
No word on McCaffrey. No, I don't know actually. No, I don't know. One of them is number 71. Like I can't remember his name, but he's
Trent
like
Williams, their left tackle. He came back
Trent
and finished
Williams.
the game still.
Yeah. So I think he was the one. Like the other lineman, I don't think was well known, but like Trent Williams going out, I remember I was like, oh, that's a name. That's a problem.
Ankle injury. Oh, he did return. What?
It was enough to
Sometimes
razzle
it's
Brock,
strange.
though.
Yeah.
Here, I'll get things started here. Actually, I already had things started when Joe started the stats because I was so interested in there. So, hi, welcome to the Duff Pickem AllStars. We have with me middle right is Skinnnns, middle left is Icehouse, upper right is Groady, upper left is the Commish. I'm the Orange Peanut. We're here to talk about stats for Pro Pick'em and our own little league Pick'em to talk about stuff about NFL players. I mean, last week was just absolutely nuts with. Is everyone just getting injured? Is that really just what's happening? Like, why does it just seem like there's a flood of injuries, or is this typical, guys?
Typical.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's week 6.
Actually, I got to be honest. I feel like there's been a lot more higher profile injuries than
Yeah.
usual.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like not to take anything away from the significance of any of the players on the team, but like seems like a lot more starters are getting injured than and I shouldn't say starters in particular, but like the number ones are getting injured more than usual.
Yeah. Yeah. Something I did announce in the last week was the around the horn score that you see down in the corner right there, to which the Commish already has a point from something he brought up earlier with that. I keep track through this the entire thing. I didn't mention what the scores were the last time, which was Icehouse 28, Commish 48, Groady 52, and Skinnnns a Q because he wasn't here last week. We missed you, Skinnnns. We'll see if you can make up your score this week. We'll tally them up at the end and see who gets the what. With that. So, but we're going to talk about last week's league pick'em because there was a little bit of some movement. Commish. What happened last week in league pick'em?
Oh, just fun times. Let's see. Oh, I thought I had it up. I did not. League Pick'em. I know we had 3 people get 4 correct. And those 3 people are Groady, Boston, JV all got 4 correct picks. And then the other 3 of us, myself, Tommy, and Stan, all got 3.
Oh, all right.
We all got myself right. We all got auto draft wrong. We all got It's Science right. And then we were the point difference that it came down to was we were split on Orange Peanut and Icehouse. As the 3 people that got 4 points had Orange Peanut, and the other 3 of us we had Icehouse for life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Chris, you let us down.
Right?
He doesn't pick himself.
He's hiding right now. He's muted. He's just like, don't look at me. My shame.
Well, it's funny to me because JV could have had 5 correct, but apparently he has lost faith in Blavender.
I did. I'm sorry, Lavender. I have believed in you I remember last year you carried me like five weeks in a row. It was amazing.
Yeah, at the end of the year after he
But,
started.
But with that, let's see. Boss is now leading at 22 points, followed by myself and Kevin with 19. Stan with 18, JV with 17, and Tommy bringing up the rear with 12. He's going to need some 5-1 or 6-0 weeks to catch up.
Possible.
That being said, we're on to week 7.
Week 7 it is. And we're going to have Skinnnns talk about the very first game, the 4-2 Commish against the 3-3 Peanut, who has yet to put up a projected score over 100 points.
Still 3-3.
Still
Let's see,
3-3.
we got
I played
Staff.
Boss last week, who was terrible.
Yeah.
He's been
let's see
projected to get more than 100 points, you liar.
So Joe's got Stafford against Pittsburgh. That's a tough defense. And Jalen Hurts is going against Miami. That could end up being a shootout of sorts. So definitely favoring the Peanut with the quarterback matchup. And then Peanut's bringing Gabriel Davis and Hollywood Brown.
My best.
Against New England and Seattle. I think the only worst wide receiver room might be my team. And then we got Keenan Allen versus M. Metcalf going against KC in Arizona. 2 decent matchups there. And KC's defense is tough, but edge for Joe on the wide receivers. Bijan and ETN for Joe. ETN had quite the game last week. Last 2 weeks, actually. And then Jared Cook and Warren. I'll tell you, edge for Joe again. And then we got Kittle versus Waller. Who can disappoint more, Waller or Kittle?
Waller's
That's the question.
game last week.
Yeah, Waller did do decent. He had 43 yards.
It's one of the things I forget about with Tyrod Taylor. He's actually a good quarterback.
Yeah, definitely one of the better backups in the league. And then if we're going to flex, Devontae Smith versus Lockett. Actually, Lockett might be better than your other 2 receivers, JV.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah, let's see. Anyone on the bench going on here? JV's got Algier, so you could hope for a Bijan Robinson practice injury this week, JV, and that'll give you a little boost.
I am.
Yeah. Outside of that, the defensive matchups: Detroit versus Baltimore, KC versus the Chargers. I'd say middling for each.
I like the Detroit Baltimore.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. Actually, Ravens have turned it over a few more times than average this year, I'd say. Boy, starting off, I was really thinking JV with that Jalen Hurts versus Miami, but I think there's just more overall depth for Joe this week, so I'm gonna vote over there.
Vote for the commish, and that makes absolute sense. We'll skip Icehouse because he's dropping a deuce. Commish?
Well, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and take myself.
Makes sense. It does make sense. I, on the other hand, a vote for a peanut is a vote for a win. Although this one may not be my win for this one, but I'm gonna try. Groady?
Just like last year, John, you're back to your 50-50, you know. You pick you 1 week, you're right, pick you the next week. You know, if you're for a win, it would be this is the week picking you for the win is a loss. So that's why I'm picking Joe, because you're right there. But and then obviously for many of the reasons that Stan went.
Yes.
I really do like the Detroit defense going up against Baltimore. Lamar
Yeah.
Jackson has been pretty turnover-y this year. I know because I have him as a quarterback in my other league, and he's not doing good. So I like the Detroit defense.
Yeah.
Yeah, going Commish.
I am fearing, Joe, I'm fearing your Keenan Allen matchup at KC. If that turns into a division rivalry shootout with that. Keenan Allen loves being
You
targeted.
also got to fear that I have Devonta Smith that Jalen Hurts would be throwing to. So
I do. I do. Doesn't look good. I'm voting for me, even though I know it's wrong. We'll come back to Icehouse in a little bit. Commish, you're going to talk about Icehouse versus. Well, wait. Is anyone going for 7-1s? Anyone? No.
Ooh.
Is there a reason to talk about the 0-6, 7-1 versus the? This is a battle of the bottom of barrels. It's
Well,
11th versus 12th
I
place.
mean, he's projected more than Chris at the moment.
Yeah, he's got 0.4 points on him.
All right, Commish, what do you see here?
Well, I mean, we've got Lamar Jackson versus Garbage Time King, which, let's be honest, Garbage Time King, what did he get last week against? I mean, don't get me wrong, that Bears D looked great. They only gave up 12 points.
They did.
And I mean, 11 points Garbage Time King got against the Bears, and they're currently giving up the third most to quarterbacks. So if he can't take advantage of that, he's not going to do well against San Francisco's defense. Versus Lamar Jackson in Detroit, sure, Lamar might turn the ball over, but he's had only 2 games under 20 points. So he could still have a shit game, but still put up some great numbers. Diggs versus New England. With the way New England's played this year, I don't know that they're going to really need Stephon Diggs to have a stellar week, although that could just mean it opens it up for him since New England's been that bad. Otherwise, you got Ridley for Jacksonville against New Orleans, which might, be a decent, not shootout per se, but might be a decent scoring game for fantasy points.
Yeah.
On the other side, you've got Cooper and Williams. I don't know. Williams at 6 points is tough. Eckler might not be as involved as a running back against Kansas City, although I don't know how well he does catching. So that could play. Swift is again Philly Miami. If that turns into a back and forth game, Swift could very easily get those points. Brian Robinson versus New York. Not to say that's a gimme, but New York, while they played valiantly against Buffalo, I don't know that they repeat that performance against Washington. And then you got the other side. You got Gibson. The battle of the running backs. Washington.
It is.
You got both the Washington running backs. So who's going to get the ball more against New York? Tight ends. You've got Goddard. There you go. Like another to get Swift and Goddard. If that's a shootout, like this favors Tony. Thomas, on the other hand, I don't know what he's done all season. If he's worth, come on,
He's been off and on. I think with the
Yeah,
Giants,
his best week was against the Bears, and that probably came in garbage time. I don't know if that was, throughout the
Right.
entirety of the game that he was owning the Bears, but he had less than half a point last week against Atlanta. So that doesn't bode well for him. Ayuk, if Deebo Samuel's missing time, could see a bigger role. So that benefits Boss. Taylor, if he's truly back, but against Cleveland, that's going to be tough. So doesn't really that favor the flex spot favors Boss. Moody knows how to miss a kick, but he's inside this time, not out. Younghoe Koo, if Atlanta even gets into scoring position, I don't think they'll be kicking extra points, so that could benefit Tony there. And then defense, San Francisco, he's got the D to stop Garbage Time King. This is the matchup that we've all been waiting for, 11 versus 12. Jacksonville, New Orleans, Boss is probably getting a different defense on the bench. I don't think any of these guys are throwing these guys in. In fact, Boss's other defense, Los Angeles Chargers against Kansas City, I'd get rid of them. Ooh, I am like tempted to vote Tony on this one. I really am. I think I'm going to. I think I'm taking Tony on this one. I'm gonna do it. I'm voting for Tony. I think he can beat Boss. I think I think the players have got the matchups.
Ooh, interesting. I think, based on what you said, that this will be close. I agree with everything with it on here. I am going to stick with Icehouse, and my main reason is I heard more positive sides to it. Although Garbage Time King, Jack, yeah, I'll
Against
go.
San Francisco's defense.
God, that's
They're
juicy.
literally head to head.
Damn, that's juicy. I'm going Garbage Time King, or I'm going to Icehouse. It is GTK. I am. I'm gonna split this one here. Groady.
Nah, honestly, I didn't even realize that Tony had San Francisco's D. Like, I mean, after the Bears, like, for weeks having being a trash defense to do what they did to Minnesota, and I get that they're divisional rivals, so maybe a little bit different. San Francisco is going to look to bounce back after that game against Cleveland. And even in that game, they had a bunch of turnovers from Cleveland. So it's defense against quarterback. I got to go with the defense that's playing way better.
Yeah.
So Joe got me. I'm going with Tony on this one. This is for his first win. He almost had it last week. Joe overcame. I don't think Boss has enough to overcome. So I'm going with Tony.
And like it there, like Skinnnns.
I mean, the Bears holding Garbage Time King to 11 points. San Francisco, but I mean, garbage time is garbage time.
That's true. Skinnnns.
Yeah, this is tough. If Chris had, I don't know, maybe he'll still swap out a quarterback.
He would never return his back in Garbage Time King. How dare you?
Maybe Darryl Otto.
Come on, they'll smoke him, and then he'll be like, "I got garbage time to come back."
Tyson Blagent is available.
I mean, Chris has the better depth of a lineup, I feel like. I don't think Gibson will get much play against the Giants. He's more of their pass catching when they're trailing. I don't know if they'll be trailing against the Giants.
Yeah, that's the other thing I was going to say is, like, that's the other reason why I don't like Boss's Brian Robinson going up against the Giants. The Giants actually have a pretty good run defense.
They are rushing yards against. The Giants are 31st.
Wow, that's shocking.
Oh, wow.
It's probably just because teams are up on them. They run all over them the second half. But yeah,
Oh.
maybe their first half they can do it. But Chris also has Jahmyr Gibbs if Montgomery's out. But I don't know if you're starting Gibbs over Eckler or Brian Robinson against the Giants, or and then he's got Ayuk in the
All a
flex.
mystery.
It's gonna be
Who knows
tough
what's
to.
gonna hit.
That will be Chris's bench player of the week who goes off.
I got, I got razzle dazzle on my side.
Yeah, I'm gonna go.
You
I'm
can
gonna
bet
go
against
Chris.
razzle dazzle, or you can, take Tony.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Chris.
Going Icehouse. That one there. All right. And then Icehouse, do I need to ask?
No, I'm not taking myself. Are you kidding me?
Oh, I'm on an island.
No, it's just you and me,
Fucking download it
Skins.
over
You and me.
JV's with
yourself.
you.
Oh, okay, there we go, JB.
You and me.
Yeah.
You and me. May the force
You
be
and
with
JB,
us.
don't worry.
Let's see what
I
QBs
come
are.
away with a win. It'll be a miracle.
Oof.
It'll be outstanding.
Uh,
That'll be
waiver
someone else's
wire.
problem. Be Tony next week.
Waiver wire is crap for QBs. We got Russell Wilson, Dobbs, Ritter, Mayfield.
Because every team is holding on to two quarterbacks for no fucking reason.
for you not to score.
I listen. I'm not going to just straight up dump Prescott, but at the same time, I don't trust Stafford that much. Like Cup's back, and he's done pretty well the last 2 weeks with Cup being back. So I'm probably going to dump Prescott at a point, but I was actually
it is a little early. So I'm not
I
gonna
was
say
in trade talks with Tony for Lamar Jackson.
Ooh. Oh.
Ooh, a peek
Okay.
behind the scenes.
Interesting.
You're saying I should negotiate with you, Joe, for
Whoa,
Lamar
interesting.
I think you're trying to throw a little something in there in the pot to
Some sauce.
get stirred.
I mean, I won't talk about it while we're on, being recorded, but he had his counter offer is not exactly the most enticing.
I can throw something better.
He wasn't doing what I told Eric to do, giving you that Western style reach around.
No.
What the Commish needs is a new first round pick for next year.
I don't have anybody on my team that's worth a first round pick. Let's just
JB, you have like player on my team, and you want a first round pick. You can give me your first round pick. I'll take it. You can have my last round.
I might do this here. I might do this. But first we're gonna focus Icehouse. You get to focus on the 5-1 auto draft all-stars against the 2-4 2-kidder quitter, who are probably still setting their team up in a way. What do you know? What do you think about this?
I love that neither person has set a lineup. Well, there's not really much to say.
Ooh, add drop suggestions. Add Najee Harris.
Looking at Dave's bench, doesn't exist. So that's fun. He's got some problems, so
Oof.
Dave's can at least plug and play, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, we are looking at Dave's starting lineup right now.
Oh.
I think it's just a bait. It's baits all the way. I don't care who they plug and play. They'll just, mishmash and garbage. I don't, whatever the case. But Dave's got more holes to fill than Switch.
I was Cook on the New York Jets on a bye week, but he's still scheduled to get points projected. How is that possible?
That is impressive. He's going to get traded and still not show up. But I don't see any way that, I don't know. I mean, there's probably a lot of ways, but I'm not betting on them. I'll take baits on this one.
All right, you're on the all-stars with that. Then Commish.
Well, again, this is the issue with doing this on Tuesday and not Wednesday. I know JV's schedule doesn't permit it, but Wednesday people would probably have had moves made, lineups changed, etc. Considering we can't physically can't actually make any changes. But yeah, Dave's record this year is a reflection of what it should have been last year when we were all shocked at how well he did, having the Las Vegas Quitters as his name. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Andrew on this one. I feel like the loss wasn't necessarily a fluke per se, but
Yeah.
if there's a team to score less points against him on average, like has been the case all year, it's gonna be two Kidder Quitter.
Yeah. I will also be on the All-Star side. You have a team, and Dave, you're under construction. Groady.
So the big race is going to be to pick up Christian McCaffrey's backup. So
Yeah.
if Dave already hasn't put in for it, or Bates hasn't put in for it, which I wouldn't be surprised if Bates did, if he ends up not getting that, Bates then has to go with Clyde Edwards-Helaire and whoever else he can pick up. If McCaffrey's out and they figure that out before Thursday, I'll change the day. But right now, I'll pick auto draft. But if McCaffrey ends up being out, I'd have to switch to Dave.
Makes sense. It does make sense there. All right. And then Skinns.
Yeah, with the right moves, Dave's team could be rightly competitive. Madison against San Francisco is not a good matchup for him. Of the starters he does have in, but I almost want to just pick Dave off the bat. He's got no one. He's gonna have to make like 4 moves to cover it. Well, I guess 2, 3, but Buffalo against New England. That's good defense. Yeah, Philly versus Miami for auto draft. I mean, they could get negative points in theory. You know, I'm gonna go on a limb and I'm gonna pick Dave here.
Oh,
Jeffrey's out. Let's do this.
I've got to erase a dash. I was predicting you were going to take auto draft, right? One for the Kidder. One for the Kidder. Oh, and Eric's dropping players again. Uh-oh. Somebody
No,
tell
it's
him.
me.
Oh, it's you? Oh,
Yes. Fixing his mistake. I have to drop somebody off his team so I can add this guy back.
oh, that's nice. Yeah, I think he admitted error with that. So it does.
Well, I'm glad he at least said what player he wanted gone so I could, instead of having to pick a kicker or one of his 2 defenses, because why you would have 2 of each is besides me.
Nothing makes sense in this league. Don't
No.
worry about it.
This is a great league. All right.
We'll have bizarre strategies.
I get the next one here. I have Blavender versus Groady Gloater. Groady being 4-2, Blavender being 3-3. Jared Goff against Baltimore. That's tricky. Patrick Mahomes against the Chargers. That's some juice. Blavender has wide receivers. I'll just leave it at that. Groady has real wide receivers. So those are good there. Oh, Walker and Barkley. Is Barkley playing as Washington
Yeah.
too? Yeah, so that should be good.
I didn't think he was going to play this last Sunday night against Buffalo, and he ended up playing. It didn't matter either way. I beat Bates without him, but I didn't want to, in case they said no, I didn't want to have a goose egg.
Yeah. Even though Blavender has Zach Moss, and everyone's looking down at Zach Moss, I believe in Zach Moss. I think he's going to score more. So I'm going to call it. I'm going to call it right now. Running backs on Blavender's side, a little bit higher, but I think Grody's gonna have Blavender with this. Looks like Blavender needs a tight end. You have 2 tight ends on bye, Blavender. Making this hard for me to pick. You have Evan Ingram, good choice. All right. Grody's got Ramondre Stevenson and Jamal Williams with it. Oh, Javonte Williams on there. But say wash. Your kickers both look good. Groody, you obviously need a new defense. You don't have one in the bench, so I assume you're going to pick one of those up. Looks like Blavender may also think about a defense. I think New Orleans, Jacksonville, as the commish pointed out, could turn into a little bit of a rumble down in the Louisiana area. I do like to support Blavender, but I don't think that's happening this week. Not with the really good running back and wide receivers on Groady's side. I'm going Groady for this. Groady, what about you?
Almost every week, I've picked against myself. When I couldn't pick against myself last week after not picking Bates the week before, so I couldn't take my chance on myself last week. Yeah, I got to take a chance on myself this week. I think, especially because he's got Zach Moss going up against Cleveland, I think that's a huge boost for me. I don't like the fact that he's got Reynolds, who actually did pretty well last week, and I have his quarterback. But hopefully, with Amon-Ra St. Brown and Williams getting back into it, hopefully he won't get as much. And then, yeah, just gotta hope my running backs can do what they can do, and I can win this. So this will be the first time I think in 2 or 3 weeks that I actually picked myself. So hoping to be able to beat the Blavender.
Humble, respectful, respect. Skinnnns, do you also have respect?
Yeah, I think Groady will do it. Outside of Mahomes, B-Lab's best player is Kamara and probably Sutton. Sutton's been doing all right, but I have a feeling this week. It's just a feeling, and maybe it's just because I own Judy. But I have a feeling this week, Judy's in there's talk of trading him. So I think Denver might start to feature Judy a little bit more just to pad his stats and get some trade talks going for him. So this could be a Jerry Judy game coming up against Green Bay. So my vote's for Groady.
Vote for Groady for that. Makes sense. Makes sense there. Icehouse?
Yeah, I gotta go with Groady on this one.
Groady
It
with
just
that.
seems to make the most sense.
All right, Commish?
I'm gonna hop on that train. I'll go Groady as well.
Slide for Groady for that. Look at that right there. This should be worth some points in that one. I got.
And he's gonna end up picking his brother.
Yeah. Next we come to Groady. You're going to be talking about Skinnnns for the wins at 3-3 against the 5-1 Science. Oh my gosh, Groady, what do you see here?
Well, he's got 2 quarterbacks out. He's got Fields and Stroud. CJ Stroud is on a bye week, so he's definitely gonna have to pick up a QB. Otherwise, if he just goes with a Fields who's out, it's a bold move. I like Skinnnns Herbert going up against KC. Those games are always, not to say super high scoring, but higher scoring. So look for him to get those points. I like the fact that he's got Amon-Ra St. Brown. I think he's since his previous week injury. I think him and Golf are have a connection. So that bodes well for them against Baltimore, which will probably be a game they'll have to score some points in. He's got the Nakoa for the Rams, which him and Cooper Kupp, man, it's a dangerous combo. So, but then like Stan said, he's got Jerry Judy going up against Green Bay, which is Green Bay is not that good. Like everybody thought with their hot start they had beating the Bears, and then I forget who the next week they played, where they looked, you had Jordan Love with 6 touchdowns and everything like that. But yeah, that team hasn't looked good. Most are going up against Philly. I mean, that's definitely dangerous, but Jacobs going up against the Bears. The Bears did for the first time in over a year held a team up below 100 yards against the Vikings. The offensive line for the Raiders hasn't looked good, but hey, nothing like playing the Bears to get your offensive line going right. And then he's got Montgomery, Barry's got Montgomery, who might not play. And if he doesn't play, it's up to I think it'll be Gibbs. He won't play either. And then he's got Akers on his bench, which he didn't even do much last week. I don't think he'll do anything this week. Obviously, Stan needs to pick up a kicker, which that's easy. Add drop. It's kind of funny that he has both tight ends, Sam Laporta and Mark Andrews, going in the Baltimore and Detroit game. Which the funny part is Sam Laporta has actually been really good this year. The other thing I would like to see is I don't know how much Ford will do against Indy, but I would definitely say if Roshan Johnson is clears concussion protocol for the Bears, I would probably start him over Ford, just because if he's the main guy for the Bears, it's going to be very dangerous against a bad Raiders team. So then their defenses, he's got Baltimore going up against Detroit. Jared Goff's been taking care of the ball. That team in general has been taking care of the ball. And Stan's got Washington, which is a good defense, pointing up against the worst offensive line in the league, giving up like the most sacks. So with two guys like Chase and Young, look for a high-scoring defense out of Stan. So I think the edge completely goes to Stan. He's already leading by 26 points for the projected, even with getting a QB. And then if Montgomery ends up being out, Barry's points are just going to keep plummeting. So taking Skinnnns for the win.
Ooh, Skinnnns. I like it there. I like it. Excellent stats with that as well. Skinnnns, what about you? What do you think here?
Yeah, this is the week to go against Barry. With his bye weeks and injuries, he's not looking good. So I definitely like all the matchups for my offensive players. They all have average or below average defenses that they're playing. So
I like your kickers matchup.
yeah, even that guy. I mean, he ain't getting negative, that's for sure.
Right?
So
Which is a huge positive. Oh, that's the insides of the shark.
It's the win. Don't even pick up a kicker. No.
Yeah, I'm definitely playing Barry at the right week. So I will. I'll take it and pick myself.
Oh, and pick himself where that makes sense. Icehouse?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Skinnnns on this one.
I'm going Skinnnns with that one. Commish?
Yeah, I gotta go Skinnnns as well.
Make that a landslide
Oh.
for Skinnnns on there.
It's hard to go. It's hard to, even with what's out there quarterback wise, it's hard to, imagine that what he's going to pick up is going to be the stud QB of the week.
Yeah. Tyson Blagent. Maybe.
You should, John. You should put it out there. Dollar Yo and Tyson Bagent for the Bears.
Ooh, is that how you say his name?
There you go.
Bagent? Ooh,
Yeah.
Dollar Yo? Dollar Yo? Ooh,
That's not worth $1, yo. Come on.
Dollar Yo? There's a lot of quarterbacks on by.
Dollar Yo would have been Tyrod Taylor this past week against the Bills.
He might play again this week, though.
How?
Ooh, I'm putting that out there.
Be out again, so Tyrod Taylor might play again. You could do Dollar Yo and Tyrod Taylor for the
True.
Giants.
I'm calling it now, though. I'm calling it right now.
Your money is going away.
Gonna be no. This is not my money. This is the OPN's money. We're sponsored. So don't know who's sponsoring us, but
Let's know about the sponsorship.
sure. I'll let you know once they pay me. Skinnnns. You get the last game here to talk about. Or is it? Yeah, Skinnnns. You get the last game to talk about 2-4. Sick air odds. I can't stop dropping people off my team. Script them versus Sippy Cup Power 3-3. What do you got here, Skinnnns?
Okay, looking at the quarterbacks, Josh Allen versus New England. He will probably have an awesome first half and then won't need to do anything in the second half. So he could, I don't know if he'll blow up. Like, it's kind of like the Diggs thing. Diggs will probably do great for a bit, and then they won't need him. They'll just run it over the Patriots. Sam Howell versus the Giants. He should have an above average game score, I feel like. Obviously, he's nowhere near Josh Allen, but I think their scoring could be similar. So we'll slight edge to Eric. But outside of that, we got Tyreek Hill versus Philly. This could be a crazy game. And then he's got Tutu Atwell. And then we got A.J. Brown. He could match Tyreek and Cup. I like that. I think slight edge for Sippy just overall with A.J. Brown and Cup versus Hill. And I don't even think Atwell just got traded, didn't he?
No, they traded Van Jefferson.
Oh, Van Jefferson, they traded.
Yeah,
Okay.
because Cook came back and
Um,
going with I can't even say the guy's name. Achua and him. Well,
Pakua, yeah.
Achua.
Yeah, either way, Atwell's he started off great first 3 weeks, but yeah, since Cup's been back, he's relegated to 3 or 4 on targets on the depth chart. So not much going on there. He should not even have that 9-point projection he has. And then we got Gus Edwards and Aaron Jones for Eric, and maybe Najee Harris. And then Kyron Williams, who should be out, I believe, for Tommy. Sitting on the bench, he has no running back on the bench, so he's going to have to pick someone up. And Ezekiel Elliott's is RB2. Tommy's weak in the running back room here. Boy, I guess give that edge to Eric. Tight end, we got Hawkinson. I thought he was going to have a really good game against the Bears last week, but he did not. But he might do all right against San Francisco in the GTK. Meanwhile, Conklin on bye. Gonna need a tight end over there for Eric. I don't know what tight end on the waivers is even worth more than 4 points a week. I'm just gonna have to get lucky and hopefully get someone. And then Godwin versus Kirk. Kirk's been doing all right. Godwin, he's a couple games over 10. Boy, this is tough. Justin Tucker, Myers, this defense battle might make the difference. We got Seattle versus Arizona. And then Miami versus Philly. Oh, this is a really tough game here. I was leaning Tommy, just going through it, but Tommy's going to have to do a couple subs. He's got no running backs. This could be the under 100 points for each team of the week. I'll put it on Eric.
He put it
for
on
the win.
He put it on sick over Sippy. Interesting. Icehouse?
I'm gonna go with Eric on this one.
Eric.
This is gonna be a mess of a game, but I'm taking Eric.
Mess of a game, he says there. I like it. Okay, Commish.
Yeah. You know what? I'll take Eric. What the hell?
Want to pick Sippy just because I think he has more of a brain on the game right now. Eric's still he's got his kid and whatnot. Don't know if it's returned. Plus, he's just dropping his main guys. I'm gonna go Sippy. Yep, going Sippy. Groady.
One team has running backs, the other team has none. I'm going to go with the team with the running backs. I'm going with Eric.
I'm going with Eric with that one there. I like it. I like it a lot. All right. We got at the turn here, around the horn, Icehouse 5 points, Skinnnns 18 points, Commish and Groady tied at 21 points apiece with that. But we want to talk a little bit here. Wait, did I pick Eric? There we go. Here. Want to make sure that's there. We want to talk a little bit about our Pro Pick'em stuff, which is the main meat and potatoes of the whole thing here. Let's talk about what happened last week in Pro Pick'em. Commish, what happened last week in Pro Pick'em?
Let's see. Tommy led the week with 82 points, followed by Stan and Boss tied with 71 points, with me with 65, JV and Eric tied with 62, and Kevin bringing up the rear with 56 points. 10 favorites were the correct pick, 5 underdogs were the correct pick. We all got Miami right. We all got Las Vegas right. We all got Chicago wrong. Wonders if, Fields doesn't get injured, if we would have all been right. Who knows? John was the only one that had faith in Cleveland, albeit for 2 measly points. Tommy was the only one who had faith in the New York Football Giants, albeit for just 5 points. Let's see. Was there anyone where? Stan was the only one that picked Tampa But again, not a lot of faith. 2 points lost. Everyone else had Detroit. I think that's it for odds and ends. I really do need to spend like a 5 minutes Sunday morning before these games start because I was convinced I had Cincinnati and not Seattle. And you get in there and you see the games where they're going. You're like, all right, this is fine. This looks great. And then you log in and you're like, huh, that's not going the way I thought it was because I have the wrong team. I will say I think I was really surprised the most by Philly losing to the Jets.
Yeah.
Not
you
that
you put the post in Facebook too. I laughed at that about Wilson.
but not that I didn't think that, I mean, again, they're two professional football teams playing each other, but like I didn't think that, the Jets could even remotely stop Philly's offense. So that to me was the big shock of the week.
Yeah. Makes sense here. So
But on the season,
yeah,
we have Tommy furthering his lead at 470, followed by me with 415, Kevin with 414, Dan with 408, Boss with 392, JV with 332, and Eric creeping up on JV there with 302. He's only 30 points behind you. He matched you this week, so you didn't gain, but you didn't lose.
I can't be down, dude. I can't let a guy who's not even joining on the show beat me at this, although I gotta make better decisions. Maybe I gotta listen to a little bit more of Sippy from time to time. He's not here right now. Let's raise our glasses to Sippy, who has so far won, I think, 4 first places on the since starting up the Pickin' with this here. But we're going to go to the de facto winner Skinnnns for this week. I don't know why quite you're ahead of Icehouse with the tie with that for second place. Maybe it's just who won more high points games. I'm not quite sure how that overall works. Skinnnns, what was a game that surprised or a game that you were impressed with?
Let me look at my picks here. I did make a couple Sunday morning picks changes. I think one Joe mentioned was that Cincy Seattle one because I think the line closed a little different from what it was when we made our picks, but certainly Buffalo shit in the bed. I feel like looking back on it, 14 points. They were traveling from London. I feel like looking at that should have been, something that you could have looked, hey, maybe they're a little tired, they're a little jet lagged, or they're just, picked up on. I think that's something too. Something to look at. Just teams on short weeks, I think is really what something to factor in.
Yeah.
And if we're gonna do that, looking forward to this week, let's see, who was that Thursday game? The Monday game was Dallas and Chargers. So, looking ahead to this week, if we're going to factor that ahead, Dallas is playing.
Dallas is on a bye week.
Dallas is on a bye, and then we got Chargers at home versus KC. So Chargers are short week, and they're going against KC, albeit at home. But maybe that is one reason to pick KC this week. It's just the short window factor. So, and if you want to do that conversely, last week was KC versus Denver. KC played Thursday, so they got extra time to prepare for the Chargers.
Wow.
So I think I just talked myself into picking KC over the Chargers this week. And then Denver, I mean, you'd have to really make it a stretch for me to pick Denver.
Oh, don't you? Hey, wait! Don't you steal my Denver Thunder here, Skinnnns. I've got something. I've got a stat about this team here.
We're a 1.5 point underdog to the Green Bay, and I'll let you take care of that when it comes to you.
The other thing with the Giants and the Buffalo Bills game, you got to think about it too. Brian Dable was the offensive coordinator for the Bills, so he knows a lot of insight on how Josh Allen and the team thinks.
So, right. Yeah, another good point.
Indeed. Skinnnns, we're going to start with you. We're going to start with your Washington Commanders' favorite team visiting the New York Giants. What do you know about this game here? The spread, 1.5 points in favor of the Commanders.
Yeah, traveling, I believe it's to the Giants. If you want to look at the injury, both teams released their injury reports today, and the Giants have no one on the injury report. Surprisingly, no Barkley, no one else.
No Daniel Jones with his neck.
No Daniel Jones apparently, actually, too. And then go to Washington. They have 0 players listed on the report for this week.
Oh.
So in theory, everybody's healthy. It looks like. I mean, if Daniel Jones isn't even a questionable, I'm going to guess he's starting this week. Commanders 3-3 so far this season. Giants 1-5. Last time they faced each other, I believe it was Commanders scored 12 and they lost to the Giants. But some interesting things I want to point out. Sam Howell is taking sacks at a record pace this year. Luckily for the Commanders, the Giants are 32nd in sacks this year. So Commanders have that going for them.
Oh boy.
The Giants also give up 31st in rushing yards against per game. And the Commanders are surprisingly 25th in rushing yards per game. I thought they'd be a little bit higher. But I think B-Rob, with that offensive line against the Giants, I think they'll be able to handle it. And then Washington is 6th in sacks this year. And we all know how the Giants' offensive line is. So with all that said, I think this very well could be the easiest Commanders win of the season. I thought Arizona week 1 was going to be they were going to walk over them. It didn't happen. They still got the W, but didn't happen. But Arizona's a little stronger than we all thought from week 1 versus now. But yeah, I think Washington should be able to pull this off straight up. And if you're going to give me points, I'm going to max it.
Yeah, max point. You go max points on Washington for that one there. To be expected with that. Icehouse, what is your thoughts?
I mean, if given the spread, yeah, I've got to go high on it. 10 on Washington.
10 on the Washington with that. Makes sense. Commish.
You got 12 on Washington.
12 on Washington. I will also go
So it's-
high. I did not know
It's
all
a
this.
1.5. That seems not right.
Yeah, I agree.
I know it's a divisional matchup, but even still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will join at 10 points on Washington with that. Groady, are you going to be a contrarian here?
Well, I was going to say, I think the reason why for the movement of the spread is because of exactly like Stan said, the injury report for the Giants has nobody listed on it, when last week they probably had like 5, 6, 7 guys on it. So that's probably the swing. No, I feel like this is a trap game for Washington. The last time they played the Giants at the Giants, it was a tie, 2020. Which in that game it was a low spread game too. So obviously, if you're picking the team to cover, you win. So I'm going for another tie in this game. So I've got 9 points on the G-Men.
You got 9 points. I went cheap. Doo-doo-doo. That's awesome. You true contrarian with that. Excellent. Yeah. Good deal. All right, next we go down to Icehouse, who is going to talk about the Los Angeles "You Let Me Down" yesterday Chargers going up against the Kansas City Chiefs. What do you know about this game, Icehouse? The over under is what? Over under is where? Oh, there it is. There. Over under for the game is 5.5 in favor of the. Wait, Yahoo! Yahoo listened to us. Did they update it?
No, not all of them are, but that one is.
Better than it has been in the last few weeks.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Yahoo, for subscribing to our channel and listening to us.
Yeah, that's the thing.
What do you know about this
I
game,
haven't
Icehouse?
seen time for this, so no, I'm just taking the Chiefs, man. Whatever.
You just taking the Chiefs.
It's my
You have nothing to say?
I'm just taking the Chiefs, man. Whatever.
Oh, gosh. All right. All right. All right. What are you taking the Chiefs for, Mr. No information?
Oh, 10 or no, 9. I already took them.
9
Right,
points.
9 points.
He doesn't even know his own system at this point there. Gosh.
I just went to
Commissioner,
sleep for the love of football now.
Commish, save us from this here. What did you pick?
I got 4 points on the Chargers.
4
I
points.
think they can keep it a close game.
I like it. I like it here. I will join you with the Don't let me down again, Chargers. You have a tendency to do this. I don't like it. I'm gonna do big old 5 volts on the Chargers here. Groady.
Kind of want to pick the Chiefs, but noticing now that their last 2 meetings, the Chiefs have won only by 3 points both times. Kind of makes me want to switch to the Chargers.
Oh.
If the spread comes down, I'll pick the Chiefs, but right now I'm going to go with the Chargers, and I got 3 on them.
You got 3 on the Chargers for that. Makes sense. Back up to Skinnnns.
Yeah, going back to what I said earlier with Chargers, short week, etc. The Chiefs all year lost to Detroit by 1, beat Jacksonville by 9 or 8. We'll throw out the Bears game. But Jets won by 3. Vikings won by 7. Denver only won by 11. Like, I feel like it should have been like a Bears score that week against Denver. I feel like the Chiefs just don't really blow people out. Chargers they do enough to keep it close. I mean, even if the Chiefs are in charge all game, I just don't see them running it up. I don't think they have the ability to run it up with their wide receiver core that they have this year. So, I'm gonna take the Chargers with 5.
Chargers for 5. Icehouse and his Chiefs stand alone. All right, very good. Here, Commish is going to talk about Let's Go Buffalo heading over to New England to play a game. The over-under for this, 8.5 points in favor of Buffalo. What do you know, Commish?
Yeah, in New England is kind of the interesting point. So at this point in their tenured history of 127 meetings, the Patriots lead 77-49-1, which you'd think with the absence of Tom Brady that would have changed, especially given Josh Allen and how good he is of a quarterback. But no, Josh Allen's record against the Patriots is only 5-4. Although they are currently on a win streak against the Patriots. Oh sure, yeah, put it all the way there. What the hell is this? Well, that doesn't
Pop-up
help
ad.
me. That's the wrong wrong one. Yeah. So now the Bills are currently riding a 4-game win streak against New England, as well as winning 6 of the last 7. So what was it though? Oh, being that it is in New England is what's kind of fascinating, because I believe on the year they are 0-3 at home, which is very un-Belichickian, if that is even a word.
It is now.
Well, I mean, it is like they're 1-5. I'd say this is. I mean, and this has the potential to be sort of a trap game, if you will, because Buffalo having scored 173 points on the season, whereas New England has only scored 72. So, kind of a big difference. Like Buffalo is plus 84, New England is minus 80. Yeah, New England is 0-3 at home. They are 1-5 on the season. The game itself features some interesting notes. Come on. Between the two of them when it comes to their defensive versus offensive matchups. You've got a page that won't load. Well, I mean, you've got Allen, who year in and year out can put up, solid numbers in terms of passing, right? On the season, he's gotten 300 more yards than Mac Jones, one less interception than Mac Jones, but 8 more touchdowns. Your standout wideout is Stephon Diggs with 620, whereas Kendrick Bourne's the standout for New England with 307. So Mac Jones either clearly throws it around, or the wide receivers keep getting injured. But points against per game, Buffalo is third, and they're also third for points scored versus New England, who points scored per game is 31st. On average, they score 12 points a game. Like, everything in this game is stacking towards Buffalo. Buffalo's number 1 in sacks, number 2 in interceptions. It's hard to look at this game and think that even at an 8.5 point spread, which Buffalo on the season is 3-3 against the spread, with their latest one being 14 and a half in a loss, but they did secure it as a 9.5 point favorite in week 2 and 6.5 point favorite in week 3. So I will have 1 point on this game, and given the ineptitude of New England, I'm throwing it Buffalo's way.
1 point for Let's Go Buffalo. I will be joining the commish, but for a little bit more, I do have faith. I'm trying to figure out if Mac Jones is in a similar situation to Justin Fields. Like, is this a problem with quarterbacks, or is this quarterback coach? And I can't make up my decision with that. Anyway, I'm going 3 points on Buffalo with that. Groady?
Yeah, I can kind of agree with you there a little bit. I mean, there's a lot of people who say Matt Patricia and Joe Judge last year really screwed him up, and Bill O'Brien this year is trying to undo the damage. But the one thing I know for sure is Bill Belichick's always good against his people that he coaches. And last week he was playing Josh McDaniels against the Raiders. The Raiders are terrible, and he still lost that game. So he can't even win that game, those are the games he loves to win. I don't have any faith in them to win. I can't put anything big just because, like Joe said, something similar last week where you didn't think the Giants would be in that game, and somehow they were all the way to the end. So I got 1 point. I'm throwing it the Bills' way just in case.
Yep, that's fair. That's very fair with that. Back up to Skinnnns.
Yeah, I think this is a get-right game for the Bills. I don't think they liked how they played in London, and they did not like how they played against the Giants. I feel like they have a need to beat up on a team and to raise morale on their team, and I think the Patriots are the perfect adversary for them to want to beat up on a team. So I'm going to put 10 on the Bills.
10 on the Bills. Holy cow. Icehouse, your chance to be a contrarian.
No, I'm with Stan, actually. I'm more with Stan. I feel like Buffalo's going to be like, you know what? New England, Max Jones. Get the fuck out of here. Max points at Buffalo. Let's go.
Points on Let's Go Buffalo. Holy cow. Oh, man, that's awesome. All right. I've got a weird game here. Green Bay going over to Denver to play. Currently speaking, it looks like Green Bay's favored by 1.5 points. Is that true?
Yes.
True. Green Bay. Yeah, Green Bay's favored 1.5 points. They've only met 15 times. One time in a Super Bowl, 1998, while playing in San Diego. For 10 points, who were the 2 starting quarterbacks in that Super Bowl?
John
Elway. John Elway.
John, there you go. That's a tie with that one there. I'm just going to split that between the two here. I'm just dead.
He only said John Elway.
Oh,
I
it's two
couldn't remember. I
quarterbacks.
knew it was Brett Favre, but I knew John Elway was the
Oh
quarterback.
well, okay, no. That's
He won that Super Bowl.
I heard.
That's why I said both. Yeah.
Yeah, very good. So the teams have not met a whole lot of times, only 14 other times before that. Interesting to note, Denver has never won in Green Bay, and Green Bay has never won in Denver, save one game that had to go to overtime to resolve a tie back in 2007. So I'm picking this based on location. They are going to Denver to play. Tough place to play for that. Where is the game? I lost. Oh, there it is there. So you got 73% of people going Green Bay. Not me. Nope, not me. I'm going Denver on this one here. And I'm going to go Denver for a nice, cool 8. Groady, your thoughts?
One good part about living close to your enemy is you hear a lot of things. Right now, the Packers are in very similar turmoil of that of the Bears. You have half of their fan base that's like, "Oh, the quarterback stinks. You got to get rid of him." And then you have the other half of their fan base that Matt LaFleur stinks. Get rid of him. Jordan Love's amazing, which is funny. But yeah, I don't trust Green Bay in this game. I think Denver, after getting a bunch of defensive guys back, they've been playing better. I think this is actually a good game for them to be, get right game. I got 10 points, and I'm throwing them Russell Wilson's Broncos country. Let's run.
Broncos country down to Denver. Skinnnns, what's your thoughts?
Well, the only thing that gives me pause is Green Bay's coming off a bye. Meanwhile, Denver's traveling from an away game in Kansas, which isn't exactly far, but they did. Well, on paper, it was close with the Chiefs, but if you watch the game, it really wasn't that close. 19-8. I like Green Bay. I like them coming off the bye, and I like Denver's ineptitude, no matter where they are and what they do. So I'm gonna put a 7 on Green Bay.
Nice 7 on Green Bay. Speaking of which, I spent a little bit of time out in Wichita, Kansas. I was very surprised to see as much even it's a football city for sure. Football, basketball, but everyone who had their flags up, it's either Denver or it's Kansas City. It was an even split between the two of them. And then we got the Commish. What do you say about Denver Green Bay? Or excuse me, Icehouse. Sorry about that. My bad there. Icehouse.
I'm gonna take Green Bay. Like I said, with the bye week, you got to give the bye week team the benefit of the doubt when it comes to a game of blah. So I'll take Green Bay for 5.
Green Bay for 5, and then sorry for cutting you off there, Commish.
No, I got 11 points on Denver. That defense really stuck it to Kansas City, and if the offense had even bothered playing at all like it had all season, they would have won that game.
Whoa.
And
I like it there.
Green Bay does not have the offense that Kansas City does.
I do like that. I do. All right,
Sorry, I changed
Groady.
my vote to Denver.
What?
Changed my vote to Denver.
He's changing his vote to Denver. Oh! It leaves the Skinnnns as the cheese. Where that? Which he can stay down there as the cheese. Groady, you are here to talk about the Las Vegas Raiders coming down to Chi-Town to play against the Bears. We got Raiders favored by -3. What do you know about this game, Groady?
No, I'm going to it, so I'm hoping it's going to be good.
Ooh, damn!
That's unfortunate.
Damn.
Yeah, it does. It does suck because knowing that Fields isn't going to play, it does suck. But they've only met 16 times. They're the series tied 8-8. The last one actually winning by the Bears 2 years ago, 20-9. They won. So obviously the big news: Fields dislocated his thumb on his throwing hand, so he's probably not playing this week. Which for Bears fans, this is their time. This is where they get excited because in Chicago we love to be like the backup QB is so much better than the starter. Now listen, I love the story of Tyson Bagent. I really, really hope they put in a game plan that gives him the ability to perform. But just like Joe said earlier, if Fields is still in that game with Minnesota, we win that fucking game. Now,
True.
I agree that on one of the play that actually dislocated his thumb, that play that there's a lot of guys saying like DJ Moore was wide open, he should have just thrown the ball, and unfortunately he didn't. But that's neither here nor there. But yeah, if Fields is in that game, we win because he is the better quarterback. But I'm going to love the Bears fandom because I do think that the Bears will come out with a good plan. I think Roshan Johnson should be back. They'll run the ball really well. They'll get the ball, out quick for Bajent. He'll look good because they'll make him look good, despite the fact that this coaching isn't that good. It's a bad coaching team. I got them winning the game. I got 7 points on the Bears, and then I'm gonna love to be able to hear from the people going, "Oh, we should just start Bajent for the rest of the season after they win," because they're gonna think somehow he's the guy. He's not
Yeah.
the guy. He's
He's Shepherd University's finest.
Now listen, I mean, stranger things have happened. I mean, nobody thought Brock Purdy was going to be the guy, and look at him. He's looked very wonderful in San Francisco.
Fair.
Now,
Fair.
if Tyson Bagent is he's that kind of guy, and he goes out there. I mean, it would be hard pressed to say he's not the guy if he went out and threw for 400 yards, 4 touchdowns against the Raiders, because then you're like, wow, if he can do that, then you kind of have to see what you got in him. But I don't think he's going to do that. I see it pretty, maybe 200 yards, couple touchdowns, but I don't see him light the Raiders up.
I like it. I like the stats with that. I like how you stand. Skinnnns, where do you stand? Bears, Raiders.
Well, Jimmy Garoppolo, according to reports, he's dodged a bullet as far as his back injury goes, but he's still questionable this week. So we may have a backup versus backup situation going on here.
Ooh.
And if that's the case, I do like the Bears. I imagine it'll move off the spread of 3. And I think it would go in Vegas's favor. So even if it moves to 3.5 with the Bears getting that, I like that a little bit better. So I'm gonna put a 6 on the Bears here.
Put 6 on them Bear. Look at that. Icehouse.
Take 1 on the Bears. Like I think Stan's right. I think it's gonna end up being backup versus backup, and it's like, fuck. At that point, yeah, I guess the Bears can run the ball better.
Yeah. Well. Amazing with there. Commish.
I got 7 points on Chicago.
7 points on Chicago. I will be joining you all on Chicago, and I will be putting. Where did they go? Why do I keep losing my damn teams? Why am I stupid? Literally, why am? What?
Are you stupid?
I am stupid, right? Why? Okay, there they are. Sorry, that's my fault. There, I literally just scrolled down.
I think my note for the game for the Bears is if that defense can play as well as they did against Minnesota, the Raiders don't stand a chance even if Jimmy G is in there.
And just so that everyone,
because to be fair, they gave up 12 points against Minnesota.
Yeah.
Probably a far better offensive team than the Raiders are right
now. Yes.
Yeah, I agree, especially with backup Raiders. So, I'm happy to take the Bears.
I think that's one of the things that's the only saving grace of Matt Eberflus is that since he's taken over as the defensive coordinator and actually calling the plays and everything like that, the defense significantly has gotten better each week. Obviously, having their best week against Minnesota, only giving up 12 points.
Yeah. I'm putting on the screen right now what I posted in Facebook. I play this thing called Dollar Yo, where the Orange Peanut Network donates $11 in gold coins to the person who picks up Tyson Chicken Wing Bajent is who we've called him, because when I was doing it, a chicken wing of a Tyson's chicken wing ad popped up on my screen, and I was like, "Oh well, that is what that is now." Where did everybody
It's funny
go?
that you're calling him Tyson Chicken Wing Bajent. Did you know his Tyson Bajent's dad was a world-class arm wrestler?
No kidding. Oh
yeah.
Oh, over the top, Sylvester Stallone.
Okay, yeah.
So Tyson Bajent going to go over the top of the Raiders in this game.
I'm liking it. I'm liking it. I'm liking it here. I like it.
Or did he just make that up?
No, I didn't.
You see, Judd, you see how this game works?
I
He
do.
could have just made it up, got 50 points.
I do.
Hosed.
I do. That would have worked as well. That would have definitely worked. Nobody won Dollar Yo last year, I see. It looks like Deshaun Professor Watson did not get picked up by anybody. Or either that or my search didn't show that it got picked up by anybody there. I got to still.
Oh, you know, where the Destroyer is actually would be possibly the Raiders.
No, they're going to start the rookie.
Probably. But I mean, I feel like before the Destroyer starts for the Raiders, I feel like there should be dueling
Dollar Yos. I don't even know how that
Dollar
works. It's insanity, man.
I mean, it's not your money. Well, it is your money. It's not my money, I should say. But I feel like before the Destroyer is out there again, that man has been out there for too many years.
It's true. It's true. According to this, Hoyer the Destroyer was last actually picked up in 2014 by Icehouse for Life and got you 22 points. Oh, good Lord.
Okay, come on. If it's Tyler Badgett versus Hoyer the Destroyer, you have to do Dollar Young.
Oh my gosh. I will wait.
Maybe whoever wins the whole dollar.
Oh my gosh, that would be epic. That would be epic. You do have to play Hoyer the Destroyer with that.
I mean, honestly, if you double down, I would be tempted to pick one side of the
Interesting. I got to go talk with New Eggs to make sure there's some funding available in the budget for this. Raise our glasses. I do like that. I do like that. Raise our glasses to Sippy for winning on the week and Skinnnns for being the de facto winner here. Skinnnns, we're throwing you a curveball. You're taking Sippy's game here. You're going to be talking about Cleveland going on over to the Indianapolis Colts for that. Do you know anything, not having prepared for this, do you know anything about this game?
Well, I do know Cleveland's coming off a huge win. And the Colts are coming off a loss to was it Jaguars?
Yeah,
they did. Yeah.
Yep, Jaguars 37-20. So Gardner Minshew put up 20 points against Jaguars. How many can he put up against Cleveland? Probably less than 20. I feel like Jaguars are actually coming into their own lately. They got the 2 wins in London in a row, and then they came back and won again, even after traveling to London for a week. We're not talking about Jaguars. Browns schedule. So yeah, they had the win against San Francisco and a bye. So you got they're fresh. Indy's running defense, I think, is going to be the key. And if Deshaun Jackson, or what the hell's the guy's name? Watson comes back. Let me look at something real quick. PJ Walker looked okay. I mean, he only put up 6 or 7 fantasy points, but he did enough with it. That Cleveland D is no joke. Despite being only 20th in sacks, 28th in interceptions, they are first in passing yards against per game. They are 4th in rushing yards against per game. Total yards, they are 1st per game. In points, they are 5th. Their defense, we all know, is dominant. The Colts' offensive numbers, we can't really take so much because we've had QB changes. Richardson's been in and out. But time of possession per game, Cleveland is 2nd in the league, and the Colts are 21st. I have a feeling if Jerome Ford, let's see, rushing yards, Colts are 19th against per game for rushing yards. Jerome Ford's very capable. I think he can run it enough. And if this game is only what was the spread? 1.5? And this is before Deshaun Watson, maybe in or out. I'm liking Cleveland. I got a 9-pointer on them.
Got a Niner for Cleveland, who beat the Niners last week. Excellent. Icehouse, what's your thoughts?
I'm gonna go 12 on Cleveland. I
Well,
think that defense is gonna get it, man.
the 12er on the Cleveland. All right, Commish.
You got 13 on Cleveland.
13 isn't that max point? Is that max
Max
points?
points.
Oh, you got Commish. I am joining you. I am backing up what I said last week, because last week everyone was laughing at me because I took Cleveland over the Niners, but I was only not confident enough to put anything more than 2 points on there. I will put max points on the Cleveland Browns this week. I will note, though, their defense.
That you're only doing it because the Jets aren't playing this week?
Yes. Yeah, this is actually very, very wise to be able to see. No, the other reason that I was going to say, so in points wise, at least in standard matches here, Cleveland's doing average for a defense to kind of pick up. But man, when the weather goes bad, Cleveland has been nasty to teams who are, playing outside and rain, wind, and cold. So it has been fun to watch with there. Groady, you get the chance to be a contrarian here.
No, after watching their defense do what they did, I don't know how Indianapolis, even with Gardner, the stash Minshew, who hasn't played that well, can beat them. So yeah, I got 12 points on the Browns. I don't. They're going to be able to run even with Zach Moss or Jonathan Taylor. The Cleveland's defense is just ridiculous.
It's funny, in the bar that I was watching with, there's one guy that I'm with who's a total pessimist about the Browns, and rightfully so. It's not been much to cheer for in the past few decades. But at the same time, he was looking at this going, do I need to get on the Cleveland Browns defense train? And I was like, yeah, might be the right time to do it. They do look good. All right, let's start heading down the list here. Quick picks. We got quick picks coming down. Quick picks with us here. Skinnnns, you start with New Orleans hosting Jacksonville. No, is it off? I think it's just off for this year. Maybe.
One. I think I had one on.
One on the Saints. One in favor of New Orleans.
One. Yeah. No, I think Jacksonville's coming into their own, so I'm going to pop 11 on them.
Ooh, 11 with that one
there. Trevor Lawrence comes up big.
And 11 on Jesus. Icehouse.
I was lost in my own world for a second. It's at New Orleans. I don't know. I don't like the game. I'm gonna give it 2 on New Orleans.
2 on New Orleans with that. Commish.
I got 8 on New Orleans.
8 on New Orleans with there. I agree with Boss. They're playing in a loud, noisy place. Crazy fans. 7 points on New Orleans. Groady.
That's 15 points on. Wow.
50 on the 15
max points.
Wow, max points on New Orleans. For that there. Icehouse, you get Tampa Bay hosting Hotlanta. It looks like Tampa Bay is 2.5-point favorites.
I don't like this game at all. 3 points on Tampa.
I got right there. Commish?
9 points on Tampa.
9 points on Tampa. Man, those colors in the last game. Yeah, I believe in Baker. 9 points on Baker. Groady.
Yeah, I got 8 points on Tampa Bay.
8 points on the Baker. All right. Like Skinnnns, chance to be a contrarian.
Nope, 4 on Tampa.
We're on Tampa.
Hey,
Nothing happening
that
there.
orange might be the worst color, but that logo is hands down one of the best ever.
Yes, I
It's got
completely,
got
completely
the
agree.
what you call it, the feather in the hat itself, and then he's got a blade in his mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah. Come on, man.
I'm not against
What
the
kind of
Jolly
person-
Roger. I think the Jolly Roger is a great logo, but you went from the swashbuckler to the Jolly Roger, and it was a step down.
I
Yeah.
don't
Two
know.
steps, to be
Blade,
honest.
holding
Mm.
a blade on the
Yeah,
mouth.
I agree. You can't
Bad
beat the
memory.
old logo. And the colors were a bit off, I guess, by today's.
They just need to bring back that logo.
that logo.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
Agreed. Agreed with that there. Let me see here. Did we get anyone for everyone for that there? Icehouse? You get into this or no? Yeah, no. This is Skinnnns being contrarian for this. It comes to Commish. You've got Baltimore hosting Detroit, being 3-point favorites.
I had 6 on Detroit.
6 on Detroit. I don't like Baltimore at home. I'm going location wise, a measly 2 points on Baltimore. Groady.
Got 6 points on Detroit.
6 points on Detroit. Skinnnns.
Yeah, give me Detroit. I like them. They're
Detroit.
feisty.
I like it there.
6.
Icehouse. Do I stand alone here?
You got 6 on Detroit myself.
Oh, you all got 6 on. I do stand alone. That's fine. Fine. I'll take my Detroit stuff with there. I got the Los Angeles Rams hosting the Pittsburgh Steelers. Man, the Rams did look good. Appears to be a 3-point favorite in favor of Los Angeles. Los Angeles, 75% of people are going for Los Angeles, and I will be included within there. I am going to go. Games are left. I'm going to go 6 points on the Rams for this. Groady.
I got 4 points on the Rams.
4
Or 5
points
points.
on them Rams for that.
Five.
Skin or 5?
Yeah.
5 points on them Rams. Skinnnns.
Yep. Pittsburgh coming off a bye. But still, Cooper Kupp's been tearing it up since he's been back. And I don't think the Pittsburgh Steelers can keep up. So give me 12 on the Rams.
12 on them Rams for that. All right, Commish or excuse me, Icehouse. Icehouse.
I like 7 on the Rams.
7 on
I
them
think they'll get
Rams.
it done.
Right there. Commish, chance to be a contrarian.
No, I've got 5 on the Rams.
You got 5 on the Rams for that. All right. Groady, you get Seattle giving a little hosting over to and 7.5 points favorites of Gino. What do you got here, Groady? What do you got? Wait, Groady, you there? Did I lose some?
4 points on Wow.
He's got 4 points on Wow. I'm sorry. 4 points on Wow. That may have been a me thing there. I don't know if something happened with that for you guys. So he's got 4 points on Wow. Skinnnns.
2 on Seattle.
2 on Seattle. Interesting. All right. Icehouse.
I'll take 4 on Wow.
4 on Wow with Groady with his Wow. Commish.
I have 2 on Seattle.
2 on Seattle. I will stay on Wow side, but only with a point. Only with 1 point for that. All right. Skinnnns, back up to you. Philly hosting Miami. What is apparently right now an off game according to Yahoo for this. According to my records here, Eagles favored -2.
Yeah. I feel like Vegas is betting you to you get the Dolphins and points. Like Vegas is begging you to take Miami. And I don't want to do that if Vegas is begging me to take anyone. So I'm gonna, as much as I hate to do it, I'm gonna take Philly, but I'm just gonna put 1 on them.
And putting a 1 on Philly. Icehouse.
It's like 8 on Miami.
8 on Miami. Commish.
I got 10 on Miami.
10 on Miami. I'm going big, going home. 11 points on my quarterback, Jalen Hurts. That's where I'm going for. Groady?
I was told there would be no defense in this game. No defense. 11 points on the Eagles.
No defense. Do-do-do-do. Oh my gosh. I love that. I love that thing. White Castle ad. Gosh, the best one they ever came up with there. Last game here, Icehouse, you got the Monday night game, which went from a spread in favor of San Fran -7 to just flat out off. But apparently, oh no, it's just Yahoo's messed up. 6.5 in favor of San Fran
Yeah.
at Minnesota. Icehouse, what's your thoughts?
San Fran, I'll take them for 11.
San Fran 4-11, Commish.
I got 3 on San Francisco.
3 on San Francisco. I need to make up points. I need to make up points. Everything is screaming to me not to do this, but I'm going to do it. 12 points on the Purple People Eaters of Minnesota. Egads. Groady.
I haven't been the Purple People Eaters in decades.
That's
Yeah,
true, but
I'm
I
gonna
just
drop
got the Vikings.
I'm
That's
gonna dropping a deuce on San Francisco.
dropping a deuce on the San Fran for that. Makes sense. Ski.
I'm gonna have to join you, JV. I'm putting 8 on Minnesota.
I like it there. I like it. This is either how we gain ground slowly or lose ground quickly. For me, it's a lot of ground to lose for that because I'm in almost last place. Screw you, Eric. All right, folks, that'll do it for the Duff Pickem AllStars. If you want to see more, hear more, or you want to hear personal questions answered by us over here, let us know down in the comments below with there, and we will see you around next week, folks. See you later. Bye-bye.